What up, though? This is the Awaken Your Best Podcast. I'm your co-host, Rasta White, with my brother, Terrence Feagin. It's a new year. You listening to this podcast. Why? Because the purpose here is to teach you how to awaken the best version of yourself. January 1st, I know that's the number one objective on most people's mind. How can I be better? How can I get to that point and become that person that I've always dreamed to be, right? But I want to start off by saying this. If you're listening to this today, you just starting your year off, don't put too much pressure on yourself. What I mean by that is the reason a lot of people crash and burn after 2 weeks into the new year is because they think they about to go into the new year and just transform into a person that's completely disciplined. It doesn't work like that. And I'm sure Terrence can attest to that. It just doesn't. If you want to be a person that work out every single day, you got to build up to that. You got to work out once a week first. Then you got to do 2 a week, then 3. You got to slowly use that snowball effect to get to that point. So I just had to put that out there. But Terrence, how you feeling this year, man?
Man, blessed, man. You know, I never really set resolutions for myself. I guess it's more about solutions, you know, for the different problems that I might have had in 2023. But I think, you know, a lot of people just try to rush into the new year and just automatically create a new habit. No, it don't work like that. It take a lot of discipline, take a lot of consistency months before you can hit the ground running in the new year. Yep. But bro, before we even get into any of that, new year, and this is the 10th episode for the Awaken Your Best podcast. So, you know, I just want to congratulate you and me on that, because I think it's a good milestone for us. 10 may not seem like a lot for a lot of people, but the fact is that we invested this time away from our families. We invested our time into, you know, trying to grow our skill and help others to grow their skills as well is big. So 10 and, you know, times 10, you know, we want to 10x everything we do. So we're going to 100 plus.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like he said, it's a celebration, but it ain't a giant celebration. But 10, like, you know, it's so easy to start something and give up on the second episode, third episode. But just reaching this milestone of 10 is showing us like, okay, our confidence is going up higher. We feel more like, yo, this is something we really, because we made the covenant. Like, this is what we gonna do, period. Like, no matter what we got going on in our lives or whatever, we gonna make sure we get these episodes done. So I'm excited, bro. Let's get to 100, you know?
Let's do it, bro.
That's what's next.
I'm ready. Let's run it.
Let's run it. So today, what we want to talk about is investing in yourself. Now, we hear there's a lot of content out there, motivational content. They tell you, a lot of people like, okay, I got $1,000. What should I do with it? And should I start a business? And the answer 99 times out of 100 is no.
Yeah.
If you got $1,000, you should not start a business. What you should do with that $1,000 is invest in yourself. And we ain't even got to say $1,000. If you got $100, if you got $10, you need to, first person you need to invest in, or first thing, is investing in you. And in this episode, we really want to talk about little ways that you can do that with little money. We're not talking about as a millionaire, you know, buying real estate. We ain't talking about none of that. We talking about the simple daily stuff that you can do to invest in yourself.
100%, man. You know, I think as you just said, most people try to rush into a new business, but you need to be in the business of taking care of your own last name, be in the business of perfecting you. And that's the first business. Yep. You know, a lot of people rush out there and try to do what, you know, I mean, everybody has a gift, and I get that, and you can monetize your gift, but build on yourself first, perfect yourself first. And yeah, we got so many different actual, I would say, strategies that you can actually use. And I think the first one that we want to go into is just redefining your self-investment, as we said, right? And it doesn't require any financial effort. Well, it requires a little bit of financial effort, but there's always ways around.
Like a little Starbucks cup of coffee.
Yeah, it don't cost much at all. But I think the first one was, as you said, Rasta, at the beginning of this when we were kind of contemplating what we talk about, really books, man. Like, let's start there. I think we live in a day and age right now where not a lot of people like to read, and it's kind of like a lost art because people only really read captions or they read, small descriptions, and they may not even read that. And I'm gonna be honest, like I'm guilty of it. I don't read as much as I used to,
Me
but
too.
I'm starting to get more into it. But what I would say is before where I'm at now, I had to do a lot of reading books, I would say chapter books, textbooks. I had to do a lot of reading to get to where I am now. But that doesn't include the fact that I still read chapters on a daily basis or on a weekly basis in order to improve my skills.
Yep, agree 100%. And yep, I'm on the same mindset as Terrence. Like I'm not I haven't read hundreds and thousands of books, but I've read a good select few. I've read the ones that a lot of people recommend. Of course, you got the Rich Dad Poor Dads, you got the Think
Yeah.
and Grow Rich. You got books like that. I've read those, and it might have took me a month to do, 2 months. So it ain't about being no voracious reader and you just always reading. It's more about understanding that it is something that is not going to die out, and it will put you ahead of people. Period. Like
Yeah.
you could
100.
watch, you could watch content and all of that stuff, but reading is just, it's something different about it. I think it, like when you read words and stuff like that and you really understand it and digest it, it gets deeper into your subconscious mind. That's like, that gotta be what it is, because a lot of the stuff I'm speaking right now is literally stuff that I probably read a year ago or 3 years ago. You feel me? So
100%, man. I mean,
yes.
when you read, you creating that habit for yourself, or you're creating a new sense of self purpose. But the biggest thing is that whatever you consume, you become. So as you start to consume the different materials
Yeah.
that's important towards your desires, your goals, your intentions, that's what you are becoming. But yeah, books is one thing, but another resource that me and you both use all the time, bro, is YouTube University, man. So I know YouTube has really helped me, one, how to film myself. That's something I've been watching a lot more because, me and you both create content on YouTube, but like filming yourself or how to be more productive or how to just create anything. Everything is on YouTube, bro. Like you can literally do any and everything on YouTube, and it's a free resource. And if you want to get more detailed, yeah, you can click on
Thank you
certain.
for tuning into this podcast right now. I want to say, if you like this, make sure that you subscribe and like the video. Comment down below what you like so far. Of course, we're bringing these podcasts to you all the time, and we just want to continue to grow. So you can actually help us to grow by commenting down below, liking the video, and also subscribing. Tell a friend to tell a friend all about this podcast, and we'll see y'all real soon. Let's get back to the video.
Click on certain, individuals' links and adopt into those courses. But bro, talk about how YouTube University has really brought you to this point so far.
Bro, yep. That's the YouTube University. That's the other half. Like the one half was reading books, and literally all the credit goes to YouTube University. Like I haven't taken many courses. I have some, but bro, YouTube University, because you got so many content creators out there competing with each other. So what they do is, instead of making a course and charging people for it, a lot of them, they just giving away the stuff for free just because they want your attention.
Yeah.
So they don't really
100%.
care. And those are people that went and paid for the course. A lot of like me and Terrence, we done paid for courses and information that we just give out for free on our podcast, because we also are competing. We want people to listen to us and hear what we got to say. So when you go on YouTube, you can literally find just about anything. I mean, it goes from how can I become a better communicator? Like Terrence was saying, how to become better at X, Y, and Z. How can I become a better salesman? How can I become a better writer? Like, and I'm talking about, people got 30-minute videos out there. Some people got, when I was working on my last EP, it was a guy who had a whole course pretty much about how to do an EP on YouTube. Like, he had the whole playlist, bro. It was like 12 videos. I'm talking about value. I'm talking about he breaking down like what streaming services you should use and how to market your music. Like he broke it all down, and I was sitting there following the blueprint. And that opened my mind to like, bro, yeah, YouTube University is real, and it must be utilized.
Gotta be
Yeah.
utilized, man. Before we kind of go into more resources, there's a few things that I actually forgot to talk about. Investing in yourself, as we said, it don't cost no money, but the biggest thing that you need to, really put forth, and it's going to cost you, is your time. Like your time and your effort are the biggest things because, again, this podcast is all about helping you awaken your best, but you have to understand that you are the driving force behind what you want in your life. And the biggest thing is giving the time. So if you feel like right now you working a 9 to 5 or you putting in 15, 12-hour days, you have to figure out a time where you can set aside 30, 20 minutes, an hour to sit back and read and go look at some of these free resources, or wake up earlier in the day just to sit out and do some individual self-reflection, sit down, speak with God, and figure out what you need to do. But the biggest thing that you have to invest within yourself is figuring out how to find the time to do what you need to do in order to get better.
Yeah, bro, I totally agree. Like he said, it ain't just about investing that money, it's about investing that time. That time is very essential. And there's always a way, and you might not think that working on yourself for 30 minutes a day will make a difference. I'm telling you. You work on yourself for 20, 30 minutes a day over 6-month period, you're going to be a new person. Period. You're going to be a lot better. You're going to be a better communicator. Whatever you're specifically working on, you definitely got to start just allocating a little bit of time. That's why we pretty big on starting small. We not here to tell you need to get up at 5 o'clock every morning. No, we're not doing that because we 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 understand it doesn't work that way. It's just not saying you can't get to that point, but if you wake up at 9 o'clock every day, you probably should start getting up at 8 o'clock, for example. Say take a little bit of time to, reflect, talk to God, listen to God, pray. I just got me a copy of the Bible. You gotta, get to that point to where, and I haven't read the whole Bible. You know what I'm saying? I still haven't. But I just pick it up randomly and I look at it for 5-10 minutes. And you would be surprised how much you can learn. And like I didn't even know that the book of Matthew, for example, not to get too far off on a tangent, but the book of Matthew is where Jesus' whole story is in that one book. Like I never knew his whole, like from when he was born to when he was crucified was in one book. I found that out when I picked it up and I looked in there for 3 minutes. So just giving y'all an example of you ain't got to overthink it, investing that time into yourself, bettering yourself. And most of it, you already know what to do. Like you don't really need much advice on how to better yourself. You know what you need to work on. You know what you need to improve. So, just get you a book, go on YouTube and just slowly start building those habits of working on yourself.
100%, man. Like you said, like most people know what they need to do. One, they just they're too lazy to even want to do it. Or I wouldn't even say lazy. I say is that they just stuck in a paradigm. They're stuck in a habitual way of thinking, habitual way of waking up, habitual way of going about their day. And it's a lack of thinking. Before I get into the thinking portion of it, and remind me if I forget, but really just focusing on paradigms. Like your paradigm is all about the sense of habits that you've built for yourself over your course of your life, where you've, the family that you were raised in, the religion that you were in, the people that you're around, the things you consume is all within your subconscious mind, the things that you do on a manual basis. And people try to change that one thing that they built over a course of a year on the first day of the year. But it really starts by changing your mindset on how you think. You have to change how you think in order to create new paradigms for yourself. And that's the biggest thing, is that it's not going to change over time. So if you want to become a new person, or to start using these free resources, or to start to reinvest yourself, you have to create the habit for yourself. And as we said, it's not going to change on day one, but start using these free resources and start using these different ways to utilize like these free resources in order to really grow yourself, bro. But I think the next biggest resource that I know for myself is really just using this podcast, but then listen to other podcasts as well. And one way that I can actually show you that you can really change yourself and become a new person is that, like, as we said, time. People feel like they don't have time, but what are you doing on your way to work? What are you doing when you're either at the gym? What are you doing when you get home from your 9 to 5 and you kind of just want to relax and you turn on YouTube, you have to see where you have to do an audit for yourself and see like, okay, man, if I take me an hour to go, like I take the train to work on Wednesdays, right? So it's time for me to sit back, listen to podcasts, watch YouTube videos in order to grow. And I realized that a long time ago, like, yo, I'm wasting my time here just scrolling on YouTube or scrolling on social media, and I could be growing here.
Just can't tell it. I just can't. Hold up. You're still here and you haven't liked and subscribed to this channel yet? Man, click off of this video. No, I'm just playing. We really appreciate your time making it up until this point in the video. If you're getting value, please like, comment, and subscribe to the Awaken Your Best community. Come be a part of it. We're really trying to build, grow, help you out spiritually, mentally, financially, revolutionarily, every kind of way possible, okay? So leave that like, leave that comment, subscribe, share this with a friend that you feel can get some value from this, and enjoy the show. I'm about to get back to work. Praise God.
In here. So I cut out a lot of the nonsense and started using that time to really grow. And that's where I really started to learn so much more about myself and about what I wanted to do in life, bro.
Bro, I love that. Like he said, and that goes to the whole thing of when you, like him being on a train, he could have easily made excuses. I need this time to relax, or I need this time to just, do me. But the reality is, in the beginning, especially if you work in a job you don't want, if you're doing something you don't want to do, you got to start putting that same energy into doing stuff for yourself, whether you want to do it or not. You got to sacrifice that time. You driving to work, you might like listening to music when you're driving to work. Some days I do too. I like to listen to music, get pumped up. But some days you're going to have to just, bro, turn on that audiobook, turn on that podcast and just listen to it and start to create that habit. And you'll be surprised, like, you'll be excited to get in the car and go to work. Like, I find myself, when I listen to podcasts and stuff like that, like, what they talking about today, you feel me? And side note, like he said, you ain't got to just listen to our podcast. Listen to other podcasts. Open your mind up to more. The more you open your mind up to different, perspectives and different analogies and all of that stuff, you start to take bits and pieces and start to put them together and create your own science and your own chemistry for yourself. You feel me? So yeah, bro, I totally agree. Just take that little bit of time out and just your lunch break. If you're on lunch break for 30 minutes, if somebody always talking your ear off for 30 minutes complaining about the job, I've been there. We've been there. Don't sit and complain for 30 minutes. It's not going to do nothing. It's going to keep you stuck. You're going to stay stuck at that job that you hate because you're complaining for 30 minutes. Instead, go outside, run away from whoever that is, go get in your car, and go read or go, you feel me? Even if you don't, go listen to a podcast, just get away from that negative energy. That's a side note. That type of stuff, it takes your motivation away. And then you just find yourself just really unhappy. And that's a sad life to live. You feel me?
I actually got a story about, kind of what we talking about, listening to podcasts on the way to work. All right. So I had this job here when I first got out of the military. Dope job. I ain't gonna lie. Definitely in the field that I graduated in. But I used to have to, so they got into the mindset of like after the pandemic, they wanted us to start coming into work. Bro, I'm like, nah, that's not for me. So I started using podcasts and and the podcast I was listening to was more about visualization and creating a new future for myself. And that's when I really started to get into like visualizing. So I used to drive to work, and every day before I drove to work, I used to visualize myself like staying at home. But then I took it even further, bro. Like I used to like visualize myself handing in my actual 2-week notice to the actual boss, to the manager. And just letting, like I used to see them at their desk with the actual shirt, like, cause they always used to wear a certain type of shirt. And I like sat there and I seen myself. But bro, I'm telling you, those car rides, I used to be like, man, I gotta make this happen. I'm gonna make this happen. But I would not have learned how to visualize if I wasn't listening to podcasts. And like, it was really like Neville Goddard and the power of, of awareness and, Think and Grow Rich. Those were the podcasts that I were listening to in order to create the new reality for myself. And it really just helped me to become more hungry. It helped me to become more spiritual. It helped me to understand how my mind worked. But I never would have understood any of that if I didn't listen to podcasts and use free resources. That's why we're trying to tell y'all, like, if you're listening to this podcast and you want to change, do what we're telling you. It's going to help you to change your life.
Bro, I think you just dropped the biggest free resource you can.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Just Manifested Daily Planner, your digital download where you can unlock your full potential, achieve your goals, and manifest your daily dreams every single day. If you're ready to transform your dreams into reality, this is the ultimate tool for intentional living and manifestation of your success. What do you get inside? You get daily planning pages, goal setting section, a gratitude journal, and also a planning essential with plenty of space and notes for you to write down your affirmations. So make sure every single day counts by using this journal and making your dreams come to reality. Just Manifested Daily Planner. Get it now.
Invest into yourself. Visualization. That is literally costs you nothing. All it takes is a little bit of time, a little bit of imagination, and you can start visualizing. And it's so powerful. Like visualization, it works. Like you got to see, you start to see, okay, let's use this since it's the new year. Let's use this, for example. We all have a new avatar version of ourselves that we want to become. We all have that. So you pretty much have the vision already. You got that dream body. You got the money that you want. You got the spouse or whatever that you want. So let's use that. Let's take advantage of that. Let's write down all those characteristics. Let's start finding ways to imagine it and start living as that person in a realistic way now, not in a I'm going to turn into this person in one day way, more in a how can I get pulled to become this person? What habits do I need to become this person? This person that I want to be, that I see in the future. Okay, what decision would he make right now? Would he buy this candy bar or would he buy the salad? Would he do this or would he do, or she? Would she do this or would she do that? So as you start visualizing and you start really seeing yourself as becoming it, it starts to guide you. So yeah, bro, I'm glad that you mentioned visualization because we didn't even note that. Like we didn't think of that as really as a tool, but bro, that's the best one right there, in my opinion.
Man,
you feel
no, 100%, bro, 100%. Like we talking about free resources. People don't even use their minds in order as like the ultimate resource because, as we always say, like it's within you. God is within you. You have the power to change your life, and most people look at outside resources, like we talk about right now. But if you look within yourself and start to actually think, and thinking, right? I'm not talking about mental activity. I'm not talking about just thoughts flowing through your mind. What happened here? What I'm going to eat? What I'm going to do? Don't think about what the thoughts that you have for tomorrow. Focus on right now. So if you start to actually sit back, come within yourself and use your power of, as you said, create that avatar for yourself. People don't even create that avatar for themselves. And it's something, it was in one of the books I read, but there's no original creation outside the world, right? Everything that's outside out the world is the second creation. The first creation is within what you see in yourself. As painters, like when you listen to certain painters or artists, they hear the song before they lay it on the track. That's why they be murmuring like they hear it in their head before they even lay it on wax. A painter will see it before they paint it on a canvas. You have to create the avatar, the new body, the new job, the new actual you before it can even come out and manifest into the world. And that's what I did. And that's what I'm still doing. I see the person I want to be all the time. I close my eyes and I can go right to the scene, the house, the car, the everything, bro. But it takes time to manifest it. It takes time for it to come out. And when you start to use these certain resources, you're going to see. But the biggest thing, bro, is that people don't believe it, though. That's the one issue. Like they think it's like fantasy or child's play when they do that. Why is that though?
Bro, I think it's due to falling in these traps, like New Year resolution traps, and falling into traps of, because when you constantly keep falling in these cycles of what you got going on, and I'm gonna become this person. Oh, I didn't. I'm becoming this person. Oh, I didn't. And going into the new year, nobody else might not know, but you know deep down. You said the same thing 3 years ago, that you was gonna transform into this person, but you didn't. So as the years go by, your confidence deep down and your self-belief, it starts to dwindle. It starts to go down. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to believe in yourself when you taking a drink and you having fun, you partying. But once January 1st start, then the reality kick in, like, whoa, I said I was about to go vegan today. I don't know about that. Or I said I was about to start training for a marathon today. I don't know about that. So yeah, I believe it's due to constant, letting yourself down, and you constantly let yourself down and stuff like that. And of course, the people you're around, if you're in a negative environment, man, hit this blunt, bro. You could do, you could say nothing wrong with a little, if your environment too is negative, now you battling yourself and you battling negativity around you. And that's formula for disaster. Like, it's formula for that. Oh, and also though, I want to say too, if you're a person that's like, if you don't really want to change, like, in a way, or you don't really, like, you got the avatar, but you don't really want to become that, you got to start being honest with yourself. Like, what do I really want to, like, okay, I'm overweight, for example. I want to get this dream perfect body with 6-pack abs. Do you really though? Or do you just want the attention that comes with that? Or do you just want the attention and the perception that people will have of you working out and stuff like that? Again, like Terrence was said, stop focusing on that external stuff. You need to worry about within. Like, if you happy with where you are, if you kind of a little complacent, we don't necessarily believe you should just let yourself stay in the same box. But if that's where you are, you got to first be honest with yourself. And then I feel like then you can kind of open that door to start really believing in yourself, because you know what you really want versus what you think everybody else wants for you. So that's how I feel about it. Like, what would be your viewpoint on why people don't believe in themselves?
I think you hit it right on the head, bro. I think it's more about them trying to set multiple different goals in the past and it hasn't come to fruition, or the real reason why a lot of people may, really not get to their ultimate goal for themselves is that maybe they're overstepping the actual thought, I would say. Like for me, we can just kind of go to the weight loss thing. Like, for me, I always like, I like perfect abs, body and all this. Like, bro, all right, I see other people who have that, but you don't really look at the dedication and hard work that they've been doing that shit for years. They've been doing it for a long, long time. And you think that within 1 year, a couple months is going to change for you. No. And a lot of people is that, like, you'll set a goal for yourself, but you don't see all the different traps and valleys and freaking like danger that's not danger, but just like all the obstacles that's there to get there. And then when you come up to it, it's like, okay, do I really want that? Nah, that's a little bit too hard. So let me pull the goal back a little bit. And I've been a victim of that a lot of times, but I wanted to kind of get into what you were talking about with like the people that you are around too. Like, those people that you are around is very, very important. Like, proximity is 100% important. Like, Rasta, you know this, bro. You ever been like to someone's house or like someone's like area and it's like negative, and it's like, bro, like, you can't grow in this environment. So what I've noticed is that you can go over somebody's house and like the energy is just different. Like, it's like, bro, it's like, you're not happy. Absolutely. Like it's like, I don't even want to come in here because I know it's gonna throw off my vibration. You're gonna bring me down. So that's why I don't really go over a lot of people's house. I don't really be in a lot of people's space, because I like my energy, and I don't really want to get thrown off by that. But I think this is a good segue to kind of focus on, how can you invest in yourself the biggest thing is like get in touch with people who are in the same area you, or who is a mentor, and it don't really cost much to just go up and have a quick conversation or offer them like dinner. That's not a lot of money to be able to just pick their brain. So if there is someone who has great energy and you want to be able to get that same energy, you have to be able to give some of your time, whether it's working, whether it's lunch, whether it's a cup of coffee, just to conversate with them, right?
Yes, exactly, bro. And I want to touch on definitely the networking, because this is something I've learned over the years too. When I first started on my journey of personal development and all of that stuff, I used to constantly think about, how can I find a mentor, or, how can I find friends that's successful? How can I find those right people to help get me to where I need to go? And what I realized is I was thinking about it backwards. Like, you got a backwards perspective. You need to look at it as, how can I make myself a person where my mentor finds me? How can I add value to myself to where the right friends find me? And when you start thinking about it that way, you start approaching people from not a take approach. It's more like how can I add value to your life? Networking, for example, how can I add value to a mentor life? How can I get to a place to where I'm not a burden, and I'm absorbing and I'm learning through osmosis and all of that good stuff. So that's what I want to say. Like, with networking, instead of just passing business cards out, instead of just doing things of like feeling like you're trying to take from people, start trying to just build small, genuine connections with people. And help, just give, like, come from a place of giving. And that would definitely make it a lot easier for one, building relationships with people. And I also want to say too, because you spoke on environment, where you go on in other people's energies and other people's frequencies. If you want to change stuff, like you going into the new year, put all your energy first step into changing your environment. like the environment is powerful, bro. You could be a 40-year-old man. You ain't been in school for however many years. If you go up to a school and them kids laugh at you, they would take you back to when you was 11. Like, that's how powerful, like, environment, the effects people have. Like, the people around you is everything, bro, in my opinion. Because if you can change, because you got to change the environment first. Because without the environment, you going to like when you was going to school, we learned that in school. When you go to school, if kids think you lame, if kids laughing and teasing you, you're not going to have confidence in yourself at all. You just, you feel me? Like, it's the same in the business world. If you feel like people looking at you sideways, or not even the business world, at home, if you got negative friends and negative family and stuff like that, it's going to be real, calling you this, calling you that, calling you dumb, calling you that. It's going to be real hard for you to make a change. So I would say, going into this year, if you really want to make a change, and me and Terrence can attest to that, the first thing we changed in our lives, and from me knowing his story, was our environment. I went to the Navy. He went to college at 18. So we got out of that environment first. You feel me? We still had the same mindset that we had when we was there. I wasn't reading. I wasn't doing none of that stuff when I was 18. But when I got out of that environment, I met people like Terrence. I met other men that I looked up to that helped me grow, that helped me change in a lot of different ways. So that's my whole spill on the networking, and also just focus on that environment, I believe, first. Like, that's the ultimate thing.
100%, man. But you hit on a good topic of getting around other individuals, and I think it was more one thing I wanted to say is that there's no excuses on a lot of people may come up and say, man, well, how do I get with this person in there in Atlanta? And you're in Detroit or in California. There are online actual groups that you can join. Like, there's free online groups. If you go to meetup.com, or if you go on Facebook and just join certain groups, you will start to see that you can really build on an online
like basis of like, you know, talking with the other individuals. You can get cool with them where you hop on a free Zoom call. Like there's so many different things that you can do in order to really start networking or get into a mentorship. But I think one big thing that I want to kind of like hit on is that yes, a lot of these different things, as we're saying, are free. But then also, as you start to grow and you feel like you've learned a lot, you need to go deeper and more detailed, is that you need to start spending a little money now. You need to start investing some few dollars in, you know, in order to really get detailed and more specific. And I think, you know, there's a lot of great resources that are out there that are not costly at all. But as you start to invest your money, then you're going to see, okay, all right, I have to prioritize this. I have to do this. And I think a lot of times, like when there are free courses out there, you said this before we were talking, like people are not going to invest their time. They can be like, oh, it's free. I can get to it when I want to. When you start paying a little bit of something and you see that money coming out of your account, you're like, okay, all right, let me go and actually look at that actual resource. And I think one thing that I want to talk about now is a free plug-in for us is that, you know, me and Rasta, we set up a lot of new resources for ourselves, but not for ourselves, but for you to be able to invest in yourself. And one thing that we've been building here within the last couple of weeks and going to continue to build here in the new year is our cultural mindset online course and community. And in this online community, it's really a way for you to get free resources, but then also start to network with other people around the nation who are going to start to come into this community. Rasta, how do you feel about what we have been building these last couple of months with this new cultural mindset online course and community?
So, man, I'm excited about it, bro. Like, I really am. I feel like we've putting something together that we're just kind of giving back in a way because, like, we've utilized so many free resources. We've got so much value and things of that nature. And even this, like, we want to give back as much as we possibly can with even the podcast, but we're extending it out more. We're putting together a course, an online course that we can literally, like, you join it, we got the community, we're gonna set up the community, we're gonna pretty much make it so easy to where literally joining it and learning it, make all the content simple as we possibly can. So we really just wanna, build a strong, solid community of people who just, the people that's out there lacking, or the people who don't, don't believe in themselves, the people who don't see that it's possible. We really wanna empower them because me and Terrence are people, we came from a humble beginning. So we know what it's like we got family members and stuff that's still stuck in that. We got family members who never left where we came from. So I believe his purpose and my purpose are in alignment. Like, we want to help those type of people because it's like, yo, if we can do it, we know y'all can do it. And if we did it, we're going to try to make it as simple as possible. We're going to try to make it, as cheap as possible. Like he did say, you got to spend some type of money. You do, because if you don't, human nature, you don't really respect it as much. That's just how it is. Like, if you watching a YouTube video that's free, you pause it when you feel like it. You know what I'm saying? You might not be paying attention while you watching it because it's just a free video. Right. But if you pay $100 to watch a video, you probably gonna be right there tuned in with your notebook, like, hold on, I paid for this. I gotta get every piece of value I can get out of that. So yeah, bro, I'm excited about it, man. Like, moving forward, as we build, as we grow, join us. Like, we ain't talking about, let us, mentor just you and teach you everything. It's more about being a part of this community, being somebody who can add value to it. And we want to add value to you. So yeah, bro, 100%. I'm excited, bro. Overall, I'm just excited about it, man.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. I'm excited for the new year. I'm excited for this podcast. I'm excited for, what God has in our lane, all the challenges, all the adversity. And, I'm ready to run. I'm ready to do it, man. This is the Awaken Your Best podcast. We're on here weekly. We're giving you, tips, tricks, but do not be afraid to start investing in yourself. Do not be afraid to go out and step out if you want to become a new person. And if that new avatar that you built for yourself is not the person that you are right now, keep listening. Keep listening, keep learning, keep watching. And of course, we're going to always be right here to help you awaken your best. Rasta, man, what you got up for the rest of the day, brother?
Man, the rest of the day, me and my wife gonna do some cleaning and stuff like that. some organizing of the home. I'm glad we got this out the way early. So, I'm gonna do some more work on some more YouTube stuff. You feel me? And just, bro, and yeah, y'all, we just want to awaken the best version of yourself. Whoever that is, we got to dig deep in there. We got to start awakening. Me and Terrence, we're constantly growing, constantly becoming that person, that avatar we talked about. We're constantly pulling ourselves towards that. And we want to, we want to pull you too. So, let's do it.
Hit the link in the description.
What you doing?
Yes. Hey, so same thing, bro. Cleaning up. I'm actually about to get ready and go for a walk. It's a nice, beautiful day here in Southern California. So it's the morning, as we said, we're going to get out and get some exercise in with the family. But hit the link in the actual description of this video to see all the different resources that we have for you. Continue to keep listening. We love and we appreciate y'all. And we'll see y'all next week. Rasta, man, it's always a pleasure to see you, my brother. And of course, I'll be talking to you the rest of this week, bro. Sir. Have a good one,
sir.
man.
Everybody out there. Start today. Let's go.